Now you have a dependency on the whole system. That's why you can't get a little mom and pop store. Everybody's at Walmart. Everybody's at Home Depot. And people like us, who are not going to be Home Depot overnight, got Home Depot's foot on our neck. It's just, and that's the corporate. That's who runs the world. That's who has the American government at their disposal. The globe. And they're finna to try to like, take it over, man, with the most statistics of like intentions. Like they want to exterminate 80% of the population. They dumb us down. They want to separate the species. I could just go on for days, and this is all through trial and error. So they ain't been like me and you been. We up in this room, and we kicking it right now, and we decided we're gonna hatch up a plan. This has been going on for centuries. They say they've been related to people like Alexander the Great, Attila the Hun. If you do the genealogy on the Bush family, you'll see he's related to John Wilkes Booth. You'll find out stuff like I think it was like 42 or 43 of the presidents are related to big families. They try to inbreed and they try to keep it, but what wound up happening was after the third generation, the babies started. Girls couldn't stay pregnant. They couldn't support the fetuses, and if they were coming out retarded, and they were coming out far confused. So they had to expand everything out, which makes sense that every 11th cousin or whatever needs to marry back in to preserve their bloodline. And it's just crazy. Like if you watch this dude Alex Jones talk about like fluoride and getting dumbed down, and he's just like if you take away 20, he said on average statistics say he 20 points came off of his SATs. So you can argue that maybe, 15 to maybe 20% of what you would have been isn't. You're not living to your full potential from that aspect. And then from the other aspect is that you're sniffing up whatever they put in. He can show you or tell you aerosol crime. Boom, the planes leaving the big chemtrails behind them and stuff like that. That's your flu. That's just the cold is around, the bug is around, and everybody's catching it. There's a stomach worm around, and everybody's catching it. Fam, you breathing it. So you breathing that, and then you drinking sodium, your little sodium fluoride, and don't even know it. And then boom, your meat, all preserved, steroid up, and everything else. You know what I'm saying? You're eating that, and then you drink your quarter water, which got anything in it but a fruit. I don't know what the hell that is, but you drink your quarter water, and then pretty soon, you know what I'm saying, add to that they put you somewhere where your family didn't come up with money. You don't got a spoon or anything else like that. So you're in the ghetto drinking sodium fluoride, antifreeze that they give you by the quarter doses, and you're sniffing up, you're taking vaccines you don't know because, we don't got money. If you tell me that this vaccine is gonna fight chickenpox, I gotta believe you. I gotta believe you. But then what I'm led to believe too is that, you know what I'm saying? How do stuff like AIDS just come out of nowhere? Like, it's not man-made. How do little mosquitoes wind up with Triple E or whatever that they bring them? And they weren't bringing it around from the beginning of time. This wasn't something that mankind already would know about. We was dealing with it. It was an on and going thing. I'm not supposed to think that somebody might have manipulated a couple of mosquitoes in a laboratory somewhere, and they left a window cracked open and turned the other sheet somewhere. That they're not experimenting. You know what I'm saying? That, magic. You see it, we just talked about it. Magic, man. Magic got the cure for AIDS, fam.
Oh yeah,
I've been knew that.
He said that too.
It depends who you are, what your status is. And that money is a way to gauge it. But money is nothing. The federal government is nothing. I can tell you right now that, you're not even supposed to be a U.S. citizen. A U.S. citizen got made, I think, back in the late 1700s. Whenever they emancipated the slaves and they freed them, or whatever, the rednecks and everybody else that owned them little colonies at that time was just like, we freeing them, but Hell no, they was just livestock just a second ago. They was worth the same thing a cow was worth. We're gonna follow the same rules that they follow? And they was just like, nah, you right. So they said they made a whole different set of rules for us, and they made us U.S. citizenships. Let's unite the states. But you're not a U.S. citizen because you're not from California. You're not from all 52 states. You're from wherever you're born at. So technically, you don't have to sign a birth certificate. That's the contract that you sign into when you send that off to the government. You can just be like, yo, but you have to know what's going on. You could live common laws, and it sort of gives you like a diplomatic immunity. But you gotta know your shit. You gotta know the law of the forefathers, the law of that land at that particular time, and abide by that. You could probably actually go into court if they don't try to grab you and lose you if you know your shit, and you could just be like, to an effect like, yo, whatever it is you did, I don't choose to get into contract with y'all. Just don't walk in with a lawyer though, because he's a servant of the court, and once you walk in with a lawyer for representation, you become a part of the system. So whatever you were before that, or whatever, I don't know. But yo, you could renounce your citizenship, which is treasonous, because it's treasonous. They're making treason for any amount of reasons, whatever reason they wanted to make it believe. But you could share the same status that every other president shares.